Happy FOMC day, everybody, although we could probably call it FOMO day. Today is the day that the Fed will announce the next round of rate hikes and give us some direction as to what we're likely to expect throughout the rest of the year. Markets are sitting on pins and needles, thin ice, wondering what he's going to say and what tone he will take to say it. We're going to talk about that and, of course, what likely means for Bitcoin and other coins in the ecosystem, and talk about all the other news. Let's go.
Let's go.
Is up, everybody? I am Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of Wall Streets. Please subscribe to the channel and take your Tupac and gently crip walk on the like button. Yeah. You know, the Snoop dance, the drop it like it's hot dance. Do that on your like button if you've got the skills to do that. Can you do that? Are you guys good dancers? I would love to bring some of you guys on and like do a dance competition among the Wolfpack followers. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, go ahead, guys. Dance on the like button and drop it on that like button like it is hot. So as I say, guys, listen, I mean, this is one of those moments where it's been pretty dead for the news cycle for crypto, right? As Mike McGlone was saying on Monday when I had him on, it's pretty much all about the macro at this point. I think everybody's just waiting to see if the world is going to burn, you know? Frankly, like how bad is this all going to be, or are we massively overreacting to everything all the time forever? I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think we know that the world is definitely in a tough spot right now economically. We got a war. We got we have a reaction to too much money printing and stimulus, and just seemingly kind of a miserable place to be quite honest. And it all comes down to 7 people at the Fed, right? I mean, nobody's even paying attention to the like central banks in other parts of the world are raising rates like one, you know, like fully one. We're talking about like 0.5 here, maybe 0.25, maybe 0.75. It's happening all over the place. And everybody just wants to watch the Fed because they're going to take the direction. So imagine we live in a world where it comes down to these like 7 Fed people sitting in a room, like doing their Mr. Burns thing and deciding the fate of the entire world, you know? And not only that, they're also deciding how they're going to talk about it, right? It's not like what we're going to say. It's what words we're going to use to say it and what tone we're going to say it with. Now, you guys have heard me rail about this before. I mean, we actually like watched an entire Fed meeting here one time. I cried. I was laughing so hard through the entire thing. Can't do that today, unfortunately. Got things to do. But we know that it's all about if he winks his eye like this, or if he, you know, does a thing with his nose like this, or his mouth goes sideways, or maybe he stumbles over a word when he shouldn't stumble over that word. And that means sell all your Bitcoin, right? That's sarcasm. People will now cut that up and they'll be like, Scott said, sell your Bitcoin. He's done. No, but I mean, people literally are like seemingly sit there with a button waiting to decide whether to buy or sell stock based on the tone of this one old dude who's just basically become a burr meme, right? Really absurd and really crazy when you think about it, right? What's going to happen to the world economy today based on the news and the way this guy delivers it? It is a dog and pony show of epic proportions. Fundamentally broken system, obviously, but it's what we have. It's what we have and what we're here to deal with. You know, before there was a Fed back out in 1917, 16, 15, something like that, there were like 30,000 currencies, you know, like be like California currency. Anyone can make a currency. Didn't go that well, right? And if we had presidents and no Fed, and it was, we all know that the Fed is political, but they're not supposed to be, of course. But if it was like, you know, if the administrations were able to control policy, we'd have like 4,000% inflation, right? I'm not saying the Fed is good. I'm saying I don't know what we do without them at this exact moment. But it's going to be an interesting day. So, right, Bitcoin has actually been moving up in advance. I have not checked stocks yet. Actually, I'll bring it up for myself so that we'll be able to talk about it. But yeah, it looks like stocks actually might be doing kind of well today. Flat. But whatever's happening right now is irrelevant, right? It's going to be what happens when the announcement comes. So let's dig into a bit of the news, talk about how it might have something to do with Bitcoin. There's an interesting article here on CoinDesk. Bitcoin's Mayer multiple nears point of undervaluation ahead of Fed. While the Mayer multiple, Mayer, I've actually never thought about which it's supposed to be, is nearing point of undervaluation, hawkish Fed expectations, cloud prospects of bullish reversal. So you're saying that a line on the chart might not be stronger than the news from the Fed. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. But here's what they went on to say. If you guys don't know about the Mayer multiple, it's basically an indicator, right? And here it is. It's the ratio of cryptocurrency's price to the 200-day simple moving average. So it's just a simple moving average and where the price is. It's just shy of 0.80. In other words, the cryptocurrency is trading at a 20% discount to its 200-day SMA. Such a price structure has been relatively rare in Bitcoin's 11-year history, making the 0.8 reading on the Mayer multiple a point of undervaluation. This does not mean it's going to like moon today, right? But here it is mapped out. It's the green line, all right? There you go. And as you can see, as they say here, bear market floors of past cycles are typically hammered out in two phases relative to that level, the 0.8 times MM level. First in the early stage of the bear, number one, and then again following a major capitulation event. Yikes, that sounds bad. The market is currently hovering just above this key level and what could be argued to be part of the cycle phase 2, right? Basically, well, here would be 1, I guess, when it breaks below, and here would be 2 when it's breaking below again. It's happened in the past. 1, 2, I guess 1, 2, that's a major capitulation event. You don't want to see that. 1, 2. That's the idea here. But as I said, which I think this is incorrect, the Fed is expected to hike the benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points later on Wednesday. No. The market's pricing in a 50 bip raise, and it had raised as of last night at least to 25% that there would be a 0.75. So that's just not right. But I think the general expectation is a 50 bip raise at this meeting. Peace out, future mortgagers of America, and house prices, finally, probably. Yeah, unfortunately. But no guarantees there, depending on obviously where you are. But it looks like we're going to see rates going up quite a bit here. This would be adding to the 0.25 that we saw just a few months ago. And 0.5 is the biggest raise in a very long time. That's effectively 2 raises every 0.25, like 20 years or something. I don't remember. I wrote about it this morning, and now my brain is not fully functioning. It's a pretty big hike. 0.75 would be a pretty damn big hike. And the expectation now is basically priced in that they'll do 2.5 worth by the end of the year. So 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, something like that, right? Going to keep on going up. But the question becomes, does the market feel pressure from this, or because the market is expecting it, does it not really matter and things go up? A lot of people are actually expecting him to, if he says 0.5 and he does it with a dovish tone, like that of a dove tone, is that markets go up. Like you get the 0.5 you expected. He doesn't seem too panicked or worried, says the economy is strong, and things continue to rip. And that can totally, absolutely happen. The bottom line is nobody knows. Probably a good time to sit on your hands and wait and see what happens. But yeah. We know that rate hikes are coming. We know that rates are going to go up. We know that there's going to be tightening, and they might even announce some quantitative tightening, which means reducing the balance sheet instead of increasing it, as we've seen quantitative easing over so long. Parzival would want to know, where's my dovish? This is my dovish tone. If you hear Jerome Powell talking like this, you'll know that markets are going to pump, because even if he says things that are terrible, he'll be doing it in a dovish tone. Guys, we're doing a 2.5% rate hike today, but don't worry, my tone is dovish, right? But if he comes in like Smeagol, we'll raise it at 0.5. We're going to 0.75 when he's it, right? Then we're fucked. And we know that we are basically fucked. So that was my dovish tone. Expect Jerome Powell to sound exactly like that. Let's look at the charts. You guys want to look at the charts? Here's a daily, man. Been talking about it, right? Very clear descending wedge. Although, listen, I will say fairly. Descending wedge, you generally want to see decreasing volume. And this kind of went like this, but only because of this spike. If you take that out, we did have that decreasing volume. Potentially breaking out here from descending wedge and finding resistance exactly at that 39,218 level that we laid out there. Yeah, I know I'm going to be in when Tolkien comes back and starts rewriting Fellowship of the Lord of the Rings trilogies. I'm going to be pretty good job for Smeagol. But anyways, so yeah, we got to get above 39,218. This is the daily, could easily close below, but right now we appear to be breaking out of this descending wedge. And when you look at it on the line chart, we're right at resistance, right? Line chart's accounting more for closes, only closes. We still have that bullish divergence, but what I will be watching for here is if we do see any more movement up, if this gets higher, but really then here, we could very likely see hidden bearish divergence, right? Because if RSI gets above these levels, then we need price to be starting to get up to like, 40, 42, those things to invalidate. So maybe even if this is just a relief rally, you get this kind of breakout up to here, and, then we start messing around down here again. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But that's what we're kind of looking at right here. Yeah. And then taking a look at it on the B bands, make her dance. Bands make her dance. All these chicks popping. I'm just popping bands. I don't say the bad words as much anymore as I used to. But here you go. We have Bollinger Bands to make her dance. And since the beginning of the month, a month ago, we've been trading below the center line of the Bollinger Bands, just getting repeatedly rejected here. Like that time you asked out the head cheerleader every year of your life, thinking, I'll get out of the friend zone eventually. This time, she's going to see my genuine personality shine and fall in love with me for who I am. Still have the B band somewhat tightening, but it could be widening here. We'll see. But that usually indicates volatility is coming. These pretty tight B bands right here. Pretty tight B bands that make her dance. And so what you want to see if you're trading this, obviously, is a bounce off that center line to move to the top. That would give us that 42-ish area again, right? Keep getting rejected up there. That's what I'm looking at on the chart. Let's take a look. ETH BTC, we talked about this yesterday, was trading all the way down here today, but sitting right atop the golden cross. I'm not a golden crosser, even less of a golden showerer. But yeah, when you have two MAs, the 50 and 200, both on the daily and price sitting right on them, good chance, statistically more likely, not guaranteed, that you'll see a nice support reaction. Things will go up. That could be a good sign for altcoins. But again, guys, Fed. I tend to agree now with Mike McGlone and all the people who say we are temporarily a correlated asset. You know that I've always been a uncorrelated asset person, and I believe that Bitcoin is uncorrelated over a long period of time. Of course. Yeah, I said 50 MA and 200 MA. But right now, Bitcoin ain't going to just like party most likely on its own in the face of everything going on this globe. Yeah, 50 and 200. We can dance again, Armin van Buuren. Play it. That can be your song for the dance contest. Emmy says the chat gets weird. I think it's probably because I make this a safe place for us to do the weird stuff. Yeah, it's what we do. So I would say let's take a look at the SPX. Basically flat today. This is stonks. So waiting here. What's the NASDAQ doing? I like to look at the QQQ. People like to look at other ones. QQQ made a move back above that yearly low yesterday and maybe tested its support. Not much thing. I think we're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens after the Fed later today. People are saying, what about alts? I don't really know. Ethereum is usually a bellwether for alts. Look, we could take a look at dominance. I mean, looking at altcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance, a bit of a meme. Not a traded asset. Right? So, but bounced off this strong kind of level of support here. Maybe you've got resistance here. I don't know. Bottom line is we saw a nice pump in Bitcoin dominance, which was when we just saw alts kind of suffer over the weekend, right? It's the weeklies. That was last week. Let's look at the daily. Like we had this sort of alt capitulation over the last few days, which was simply this. And then, right? Was that Sunday, I bet? Now kind of dropping, maybe bull flagging up, but you want to see this dropping for your altcoins, basically, is it just, frankly, guys, listen, altcoins are not going to have like an alt party until there's confidence in the crypto market as a whole, and there is not right now, I would think. Yeah. Anyways, SPX, flat, QQQ, flat, fine. Keep on moving. LGT, I read that differently. LGBTQ. RSTUV. World's largest family-owned private bank to offer crypto. No big deal. Just the world's largest family-owned private bank in the whole planet going to offer crypto services to their clients. Of course, this is owned by the princely house of Liechtenstein, which I think is where every hero from every Hallmark Christmas movie ever made is royalty from Liechtenstein in some sort, I think. But yeah, working with Switzerland's SEBA, we'll call it SEBA Bank. We're going to call it that. That's a picture of that's where the Prince of Liechtenstein lives. This is where he looks down and does princely shit down on his vassals. You know, I don't know what princes really do at this point. But yeah, man, they're going to offer private banking services, private crypto services to their clients. And they said, here you go, responding to growth demand among its wealthy clientele, super wealthy, bro. LGT will initially offer investment services for Bitcoin and Ether. Of course, it's where we start. Yeah, Liechtenstein is another country. The bank is in discussions to add more coins, probably dog coins, as well as staking and yield earning possibilities, according to Matthias Schutz. Can you imagine, though, like you're like a rich ass person doing like rich ass shit in Liechtenstein, and they're like, hey, bro, you can like earn 10% yield in your private bank. What? Yeah, they're really looking at offering yield, which you know you're not getting otherwise. Shit's wild, man. Shit's crazy. This is huge. We saw another, I mean, every day it's like bank offering crypto services to wealthy clients. Problem is, it's to the wealthy clients. They only have wealthy clients, right? Yeah. So, pretty big. God, this is unfair. This sucks. MicroStrategy reports 170 million impairment charge on Bitcoin holdings in Q1. The software firm owns 129,218 Bitcoins. Must be nice. Never know if you're supposed to pluralize Bitcoins. Bitcoins. Valued at just under $5 billion. $5 billion, right? But here's what's unfair, right? This is how you have to report your digital assets according to law. And this, remember last year? Yeah, at the beginning of the year, beginning of 2021 in February, I think, MicroStrategy Sailor held a meeting for like 2,000 companies, and like everyone showed up to tell them how to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet, and like nobody did it. Right? We were like, everyone's coming, every bank in the world, every company, they're all going to do it. Then it was like crickets. And then it was like Web3, NFT, metaverse, nobody talking about Bitcoin the rest of the year, right? Well, this is the reason, man. GAAP accounting. Like, it's really messed up how a company that puts digital assets on their balance sheet has to account for it. The digital asset impairment, the rule is what's impaired, reflects the decline in the price of Bitcoin versus the price at which the Bitcoin was acquired. So if you bought it at, 45,000, you report the decline. Under standard accounting rules, here we go. The value of digital assets such as cryptocurrencies must be recorded at their cost when you bought it, and then only adjusted if their value is impaired or goes down. But if the price rises, that does not get reported unless the asset is sold. So you're basically punished for the lowest point that the asset trades at during your quarterly period versus where you bought it. But if it goes up, it doesn't matter. That doesn't count. That shit doesn't count. Doesn't count. This is like the equivalent of like Robinhood turning off the buy button on GameStop, but keeping the sell button on. Yeah. Marco, like his wife. Not going to tell you said that. although I did just put it on the screen, so I hope she is not hanging out. But yeah, man, gonna keep on keeping on buying those Bitcoins, him obviously. But yeah, this hurts the company, will hurt the stock, because obviously he's become a Bitcoin holding company. I don't know if you saw this also in their earnings report. They actually said that their liquidation price for Bitcoin is 21,000. Now that sounds like a big yikes for MicroStrategy, although we're nowhere near 21,000, right? But they did make it clear that they could use the rest of their Bitcoin. They've used this fraction of it as collateral, take more loans. They could add more Bitcoin to it to lower the cost basis and liquidation point, etc. So not to be worried, but it's the first time that we've ever heard in any report that they even have mentioned a liquidation price for their crypto. Let's go. Ethereum layer 2 fees should be under 5 cents to be truly acceptable, says Vitalik Buterin. Though the Ethereum co-founder thinks projects are making great progress to drop gas fees, there's still much more to be done. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? You know, when gas fees are like $12,000 because someone's minting NFTs on OpenSea, maybe your network's a little expensive and doesn't quite work well for the everyman at mainstream scale. I love Ethereum. I use it. We all pay the fees because it's worth it. Ethereum's awesome. But your average person can't do that, right? I think it says down here that the average fee on Ethereum is about $12. That's just like sending ETH to ETH, not minting and all this stuff, right? And you know, if you get down to Arbitrum and Matic and all of these, it's like 66 cents, 92 cents. Metis network at 02 cents. That's pretty popping right there. You see that? And Ethereum for 15 cents to send Ethereum for 15 cents, 0 cents to 15 cents, right? So it's about $14 on Ethereum. Bottom line, man, he's saying, listen, these layer 2s may get us there, but they're not there yet. I think we can say that about literally everything in crypto. This is my favorite quote because I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Right? Needs to get under 5 cents to be truly acceptable, but we're definitely making great progress. This is the part that had me. I feel like he made this up just to mess with us. And even proto-dank sharding may be enough to get us there for a while. Proto-dank sharding sounds like something you do when you have a stomach flu. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what it was, but here you go. This is the answer. Proto-dank sharding that Buterin referred to in his tweet is a recently proposed improvement for Ethereum, EIP 4844, designed to help the network scale in the short term. The upgrade enables a new type of transaction called a blob carrying transaction, of course, because we want to be taken seriously. That carries extra data that can't be accessed by the Ethereum virtual machine. Bottom line, guys, Ethereum's awesome, but it's like a 1980s computer, you know? Got to upgrade, got to fix it, got to add layer 2s to make it operate at scale. But I'm here for the proto-dank shards. I am here for the proto-dank shards, whatever those may be. Elon Musk changes a Twitter profile to picture to a Bored Ape collage. He's just trolling here. I have no idea why he did this, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious. You guys didn't see it. There it is right there. Can you guys see that? See it? There. 90 million followers. Man. Got 90 million followers, but being a troll ain't one. Yeah, followers. That didn't make any sense, right? But so now, of course, there's all this question whether he owns a Bored Ape yacht, Bored Ape, or he's buying Bored Apes, and whether he's going to be a Bored Ape, and whether you're going to be able to buy a Tesla with Bored Apes. I don't know, man. I'll just tell you this: Bored Apes didn't go up when he did it, which kind of crazy, right? In fact, Bored Ape Ethereum NFT price drops 32%, down $135,000. We don't talk about dollars. No. Right? Yeah. But Bored Ape Ethereum dropped 32%, down 135K since last week. But this is all because there was so much hype, obviously, leading up into the other side land sale, which I've reported on extensively and we have discussed it. We're not going to discuss now. Right? But this is obviously, here you go. The price of the cheapest available Bored Ape is 32%. Price surge ahead of Saturday's mint, the Bored Ape themed metaverse game. But let's take a look at this, right? They were saying here that the floor was 105. I just checked. It's 122. Let me see. It might even be different now if I reload. 122. It's an expensive ape, dude. Say bye now. 1217, the cheapest ape, $350,000. You may recall that, I don't know, 2 months ago, they were like 70, and I was like, maybe I'll buy an ape. Would have doubled my money, gotten, I don't know, a few tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free ape coin, and maybe would own some land in the apiverse. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you guys are talking about, I believe Emmy was saying that people, we've heard a lot of people call Ethereum a scam, which is what she's referring to. I'm trying to see her comment. Oh yeah, when we were crazy, we met Miami who said ETH was a scam. LOL. Well, what was that guy's name? Savitsky. Alexander Savitsky. But like, listen, I'm friendly with these people, not him necessarily. He was really on like that Vitalik Buterin, New World Order. He's the most evil person in the world. He said that. I get it. Okay. But we were with Mark Moss, who was kind of taking a reasonable approach. Robert Breedlove was there. We were literally sitting at a table drinking beer. We were in our car. They were all in our car. We were driving from Michael Saylor's house to go to a bar. And it was like maximalism coming out our ear holes. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Everyone has a right to their opinion. I personally don't think ETH is a scam. Don't think Ethereum is a scam. Guys, I know this is going to disappoint you. Tomorrow I have an appointment, and so we actually are not doing the roundtable. I'm going to be off tomorrow. We'll be back Friday, though, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have like a couple more minutes here. What are you guys doing over here? There's a second Earth. Does someone else own property in Earth 2? Is Earth 2 is that a metaverse? What is essential reading for getting ape pilled? I read that as ape piled, and I was like, that sounds bad. I don't know. Raoul Paul did a very good thread on why he bought a Bored Ape. He did. Say hey to the proctologist. I am in my 40s, bud. Close guess, but wrong. Is Saylor a maxi? Saylor, I mean, he's definitely a Bitcoin maximalist believer, but he doesn't talk about anything else. He's not like a toxic, everything's wrong. He just like, it's not even on his radar, I think. It's interesting. I was talking to Saylor about it on my last podcast with him. I asked him about it in advance of it. I said, is there a reason that you don't, like park your Bitcoin for yield or any of those things? And he said, listen, I'm in my rookie year. This is a while ago. So now it's a little, it's been a year and a half maybe. He was like, I'm just trying to buy Bitcoin. He's like, I can't understand the risk of any of the other things. I haven't done the work. So I think he's just a Bitcoin guy who's done the work on Bitcoin, and he's happy stopping there for now. Right? He's got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. So yeah. You guys are talking about some wild stuff over here. I don't even know. Just having a whole ass conversation about like where you're staying on vacations. I love Round the X. I love Round the X too. They were actually, Round the X was my first sponsor ever. I met Round the X because they had literally I think 30 customers. And they tweeted something, like subtweeted something of mine about rounding up. And I knew what Acorns was. And I literally DM'd their Round the X account. Was like, I think you guys are awesome. Can I sign up? They had not even started yet. And then I became friends with Andrew Elliott, the CEO. I invested in the company actually. When they had 100, I was one of their first 100 customers. One of their first 100 customers. If you guys don't know about them, they allow you to dollar cost average and round up into cryptos, and you can round up into anything on there now. But it's really pretty cool. Like you spend 98 cents at the store, it buys you 2 cents worth of Bitcoin, whatever you want. Yeah, pretty cool. Do we sell and man go away? It feels like we should have sold in April and ate some maple. Yeah. Do not let Saylor compromise your impartiality. No, he doesn't try to. That's my point. A lot of other people are like, will rail against everything else. He's for Bitcoin. I don't think he's necessarily against anything else. Yeah. I'm being up, or what did I do? Oh, by the Round the Xing thing. I'm sorry. You might have been like their 103rd client, Jeff, with all the vowels. You have the best last name in the game, Jeff. And I love you. Even though you always point out my engagement numbers dropping. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I will be back on Friday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, you are the best. appreciate you deeply. You're the reason that I show up. So thank you for that. Peace.
That's dope.